I've got a question for you. Do you ever feel stuck? Well, I'm going to share with you why we sometimes feel stuck and also how we can get unstuck. Here on Inspiring Change for a Better You. Okay, as I was saying, sometimes you get that feeling where you get up in the morning, you get ready, you go to work, you go home, you're tired, and you go to bed. To get up the next morning, to get ready, to go to work, to get tired, and home, bed. And it just keeps rolling that way. Get up, home, work, bed. Get up, work, home, bed. Get up, work, home, bed. Get up, work, home, bed. And it takes a whole week of that. And then you get to that bit where you just feel, I just can't take this anymore. Well, let me just explain a few things about this feeling stuck. You know, the funny side is it kind of reminds me of that movie, Groundhog Day. But, you know, the serious side of it is not every time that you feel stuck, it's really such a bad thing. I mean, people get stuck in different areas. It might be their work. It might be their relationships. It might be a social life. It might be just your overall life. But one thing that I'm going to tell you is this. Not every time that you feel stuck, it's actually all that bad. You may feel bad at the time, but sometimes it's your inner person inside of you saying, look, it's time for us to grow. Look, it's time for us to start to do things. It's time for us to start to achieving our goals. You see, when you look at it that way, you realize, I've got to get some momentum in my life. I've got to start moving. So here we go. Think about this. You're sitting in a car. And when you sit in this car, you've got the windscreen ahead of you. And through this windscreen, you can see the road. But also, just above you here, you've got the rear view mirror. And you take off and you're driving. And you're looking at rear view mirror. But for some reason, you just keep looking in that rear view mirror. And you're driving, you're looking in the rear view mirror, just checking the past, or you're looking at what you've gone past already. And then somewhere along the way, what's going to happen? Yes, you're going to crash. Now, let me give you a little analogy about this. Here we go. Use your minds. Think about this. The car represents your life. The windscreen ahead of you is the view to that road ahead, which is your future. And that rear view mirror there, that is your past. But if you keep looking in that rear view mirror, sooner or later, you're going to crash. You're going to feel stuck. So here we are at that point.
Oh, man!
So what do we do about this? Let's do that again. The car. This vehicle is your life. Okay? You're sitting in this car. That's your life. This windscreen. You need to look ahead. You need to look and keep your eyes fixed on the road ahead. So what do we do with this rear view mirror and this compulsion to keep looking in the past? Maybe we can actually press the side window down, break that rear view mirror off, and throw it out the window. Because there are some people, no matter what you say, they still have that compulsion to keep looking at the past. So don't get me wrong. This is just, hypothetically thrown out the window. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this. Now, if you keep looking at the past, you're going to crash. And sometimes you've got to look at it this way. look, I need to focus ahead. I need to see ahead of me. I need to know the direction that I am going. You might say, well, that's hard. You don't know what I've been through. It's true. That is true. But we can retrain our mind in the way we see things. A habit takes 3 weeks to make and 3 weeks to break. So we got to get into that habit of looking ahead, planning. Listen, I'm going to give you a few tips here, but let me show you this as well. Back in the days, when you wanted to go somewhere, there used to be this book called the A to Z, right? And this A to Z was brilliant. But what you do with this A to Z is you'd find out where you want to go, your destination. Now, after you've known your destination, you'd retrace back and look at the directions that you have to go to get to this destination, this place that you want to be. Now, in doing this, you've mapped it out, and you've probably drawn a piece of paper next to it, the roads and everything that you're going to pass, the landmarks. And then what you do is you get in the car, and you might have a passenger with you as well who reads the map, or you might have to read it yourself and go along the way. But every now and then you'd stop and you check, is that the right road? Am I going in the right direction? You drive a few miles further on. Oh, you look for that landmark. Am I going in the right direction? And before you know it, you've arrived at your destination.
Nice.
So, what's that about? I want you to do this. I want you to get a piece of paper or a whiteboard or wherever you can actually mark this down and write it instead. The reason why I said A to Z, because I could have easily said TomTom, but that would just give you the answers and you just, does everything for you. But if you can actually write this out as if you're doing the A to Z, but we're talking about your life instead. So what you're going to do is get the piece of paper or your pad, and you're going to write down, work out your destination. But what you're going to do is you're going to do this throughout the week, a day ahead, right? Or a week ahead. So the night before, you're going to plan this. What are you going to do the next day? What is your destination? What is your purpose of the next day? This will help get momentum. Now, in saying this, you're going to plan the direction there, the task that you need to do to get there. And every now and then, just as if you were driving, you need to tick it off at the end of the day and see, is it closer to your end goal at the end of the week? So each day, you're going to have one little, let's say, task to do to help you get to that point. Now, once you get to doing this, it should get to the point where you're waking up in the morning before your alarm clock, because you've got a purpose, you have a reason, and you know where you are going. Isn't that good? Now, you might think, well, that sounds good, but can I do it? Listen, you have to do it. You don't have a choice. You have to have the momentum, the impulse to push yourself out of this situation of being stuck. So here we go. Little recap. Plan your day ahead. Set goals. Work out the landmarks, the points, the tasks that you have to do to reach this goal. And after you've done this, do it again, till you get that momentum to keep moving. It's time for you to be unstuck. You don't want to wake up one day and say, you know what? I should have done that. I should have done this. You see, because the thing about it is there's no time for that. Live in the now. Do what you have to do and get unstuck. If you found this useful, please jot it in the comments below. And also, subscribe. Ring that bell. I'm Coach Chris Brown, signing off on Inspiring Change for a Better You.